Alrighty, I'm going to finally make an update video. It has been quite a while and I'm getting called right as soon as I start. Anyway, yeah, it's been a while. Weather's been terrible. We had a lot of rain. My truck's disgusting. Even today the video may be horrible because the wind is still really high. But it's been a while, so I'm going to try and do this now that I finally got the cam in. So I'm just going to hop right into trying to show you guys kind of what I did more specifically. All right, so stock, right? I'm just kidding. So I tried to do this on a budget, not cheap as in like bad stuff. Just I tried to save money where I could. So the things that I saved a little bit of money on piecing this together, I got the valley cover off of eBay. It was extremely cheap. I got the front cover off of eBay. It was also extremely cheap. On the topic of the front cover, I don't know if you'll be able to see, my truck was originally VVT. I reused the stock bracket and I reused the stock harness and all that. All I did was take the VVT part of the harness and move it all the way down to the bottom and tie it out of the way. Same thing, super cheap eBay headers. These are actually for a 99 to 06. I just had to do a little bit of work on the passenger side for the O2 sensor where it clears the frame rail. Whether or not you'll be able to see that, I don't know. Alrighty, I'm back. I had an Amazon delivery. Okay, anyway, I'm going to start over with what I was talking about. So, cam-wise, I went with a BTR Stage 1 V2. It's the same cam that they have listed for the LS1, LS2, LS3. They're all the same. It's a 217 230X, a little over 600 lift, and then 113 LSA. So, like I said earlier, this was originally was a VVT motor, so it already has exhaust valve reliefs. And part of the reason I went with that cam is the intake duration is extremely mild. I would actually consider it small. The exhaust duration is a lot more, I wouldn't call it large, but it's more like middle of the range. But the benefit is, so I was able to mill the heads, and I have tons of clearance on the intake side. But also, since it already has valve reliefs, all that extra exhaust duration, I also have plenty of room for. So I ended up being lazy. I've done enough of these with similar combinations. I didn't even measure. I have all the stuff to measure. I just didn't feel like doing it because I just want to put the truck back together. I only milled the head 40 thousandths, just going off of some rough math on previous setups. I'm pretty sure you could get away with at least 60 thousandths. I wouldn't do that without measuring, but I went ahead and had the heads milled 40 thousandths. I have tons of clearance. I know I do. I'm not even worried about it. And then for the head gasket, not that you'll be able to see it anyway, I'll try and link it in the description, but I have used these in the past on an old truck I had, and so I wanted to give them a try on this. They are sold by RPM Speed / WS6 store. They are MLS gaskets. They're slightly thinner than stock. Normally, I use a 40 thousandths Cometic gasket. I didn't want to spend that much money on head gaskets. The ones that I ran, they're like, I think $70 for the pair or something. They were originally made for the early Gen 3 stuff that had notched heads, like the first year of the LS1 and the Camaro and the Vets. And then some of the early A62s on the 5.3 also have notched heads. But those head gaskets are supposed to work on non-notched heads. I had never confirmed that, so I went ahead and got them for this just to try it. They're listed at like 45 thou thickness. I measured them with my calipers at the end, kind of where the rivets are, and I got closer to 40 thousandths, so take that for what you will. They're a little bit thinner than stock. I don't know exactly how thin or not thin, but they do sell those for the smaller bore stuff like this, and they also have a set for the larger bore 6-liter and 6.2 stuff. So if you just want something a little bit thinner on a budget, I mean, $70, $80, whatever they are for a pair, I mean, that's pretty solid if you're not going all out. Man, other than that, like power-wise, that's pretty much all I did, man. I threw a cam in it, slightly thinner head gaskets, and I had the heads milled. It bumped up the compression like almost a full point, maybe just shy of a full point. It should be around 10.5 to 1 now, roughly. So that's still what I would consider pretty low compression, but stock the VVT 5.3s are like 9.7 or something like that. So they leave a lot to be desired in that side of things. So yeah, stock gear, stock converter, it drives pretty good. I really have no complaints. It's really a pretty mild cam, all things considered. But that being said, with the compression bump in that cam, it seems to, I mean, from everything I was researching before, I expected it to make around 370. I haven't had any good weather, and I haven't ran it since I like completely finished the tune, but even what it ran right off the bat, the numbers seem to back up. It probably makes about 370 to the wheels roughly. So, I mean, for for what it is, I think that's pretty solid. I've been pretty happy with it. It's a lot more fun. This cam carries out power really well. I think I'm probably going to leave it at shifting at about 6,800 right now. I had it shifting around 69, 7,000. I mean, when I first started it on the base tune, I had it shifting at like 64, but in the logs, it really never drops power. It peaks around 6,200 or so, but it pretty much just never drops power. Even at 6,900, it was within 5 or 10 of peak. I mean, I was shocked. So I don't really plan on spinning this thing to the moon. I'm sure there's a little bit of gains to be had, but on something like this, I just could care less. So I'll probably keep it around 6,800 for now, just to reliability, I guess. That's our excuse. So yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm just rambling. It's really straightforward. It's pretty much a cam, a very mild cam, and milled heads. And if you have a non-VVT motor like the earlier 5.3s, those are like 9.9 and some change, just shy of 10 to 1. So with this cam, you could still mill your heads 20 thousandths, and the exhaust side would still clear, same head gasket setup, and you should still be really close to about 10.5 to 1 without having to do all the extra. Another reason that I'm going to circle back, another reason that I went with 40 thousandths, because I didn't feel like measuring whatever. I just reused the stock push rods. I know they're like, oh, you need to put hardened push. I've never bent one. I mean, I've never even seen one bent in person, and I've had some vehicles with stock push rods making a whole hell of a lot more power than this, like well over double. So I'm not really worried about it. As long as lifter preload and whatnot's in check, I don't really foresee me bending one. Same thing with the rockers. It's stock rockers. I've had one stock rocker come apart on me before, and it was an LS1 Camaro, and that thing got beat to hell. It had a ton of miles on it, and it finally let some of the needle bearings out. But that's the only one I've ever had failed. So nothing against them. If you want to do hardened push rods and you want to do some trunnion upgrades on the rockers, nothing wrong with that. More power to you. For something like this, I could be bothered less. So again, like, doing it on a budget without cheaping out on the stuff that matters. If you're going to spend money on stuff, valve springs, lifters, I guess I could see push rods being thrown in there depending on how serious of a setup you got. But I mean, a lot of this stuff, man, it's all the same. Lifter trays, I also wouldn't cheap out on lifter trays. They're already so cheap, and if you get some super cheap ones and you spin a lifter in the tray, it's gonna cost you more than you save by a long shot. So but like gaskets, and I mean, Amazon gaskets, fine. Head gaskets, as I said, I mean, you can get pretty much any MLS gasket, BTR, the ones I have, whatever, they're all pretty cheap, so no reason to spend extra on any of that. I'm trying to think if there's anything I'm missing. I really didn't have to do anything. The only other thing I did that I wouldn't call it performance related, I did drop the oil pan on it because I deleted the pressure relief valve in the pan, which I would recommend everybody doing. It's like a $10 part to plug that up, and then you just a new oil pan gasket, because you got to drop the pan. And I didn't have to pull a motor or anything to do that. I just had to I loosened up the rack, moved the rack out of the way a little bit, and then just dropped the pan out and then swapped it all and put it back together. I mean, it was super easy. So yeah, I think that's really all there is to ramble about on the motor side of things. I guess I'll recap the truck. I mean, it's lowered a little bit. It's like 2 in the front, 4, 5 in the rear. No flip kit. I just have like some custom hangers that I did, and then I deleted the factory lift block, and then I also deleted the overload springs So that's another like inch. I deleted the overload springs whenever I did the Speed Engineering traction bars. So 2.5, I guess 2.4, something like that for the suspension. I did get a drive shaft. It's not a lightweight drive shaft. I saw absolutely no gains because it's still a steel drive shaft, but I did get a upgraded single piece drive shaft. It's I think it's like a 4-inch steel. I don't remember what the thickness is or whatever. It's got fresh 1350 U joints in it, but nothing crazy. But that did make a huge difference, because the stock one I was playing Russian roulette every time I would do a pull. Now I've been over 130. It's been buttery smooth, so I'm not worried about that anymore. But yeah, no gains from that as far as performance, just reliability. So yeah, stock gear, stock converter. It's got headers, a cam, milled heads, and then traction bars. That's about the extent of performance mods. It's very, very simple. I guess I'm going to start it so you guys can hear it. Sounds like a cammed LS, as all the others do. When I have the drag radials on the rear, it throws it for a loop. The ABS system has a stroke, so it throws all the lights on. So on another note, I would not expect any like really good dragging numbers to come out of this thing anytime soon, because the weather's been absolutely horrendous. Like, it's been hot, windy, never a tailwind either, either a crosswind or a headwind, like 20 miles an hour. So wide open throttle wise, tune's good. I'll probably get some numbers to post in one of these. The first two that I did, the converter wasn't locking because it was having a few things that needed addressed. So I don't have any like current dragging numbers of what it runs. I've also only ran it with a passenger. So I don't really have any apples to apples dragging numbers. I've only actually gotten one run in that was just kind of spur of the moment with my buddy when I ran into him on the highway. So I'm still missing a lot of update stuff as far as like actual numbers. I'll throw up what I do have just from when I had the startup tune in it. But I mean, overall, I'm happy with it. The goal is still to run 12s. I think in really good weather, it'll probably be right on the edge. It's going to be close, but I think it'll probably do it. With my luck, it'll go 13.0 and it'll stay there. That's probably what's going to happen. So I'm going to drive it around the block just so you can kind of see how it drives on the stock converter. I do have a little bit of shift scheduling stuff to do. Tune-wise, I still have it pretty close to stock for shift scheduling, mainly just for gas mods. The converter locks pretty low mile an hour and fifth, and even like just the shift scheduling with the converter unlocked first, second, third, fourth, especially on the downshifts. I need to play with those a little bit, but honestly, I've just been driving it and trying to enjoy it because it's been fun. So I'm going to take it around the block. I'll let you guys kind of see how it drives, and then I'll probably wrap this video up, and at the end of it here, I'll try and insert some clips either from me doing the early draggy passes. Maybe that race that I already posted I'll throw in here. I will say at some point I do plan on putting a X-pipe on this thing, because man, I just cannot get over the Y-pipe clap that these things have. I mean, it's god awful, my lord. And the truck's just too loud. I'm getting old. I was talking about the converter locks in fifth at like 45 miles an hour. That's really just too low, but usually I'm just kind of creeping it around town so it keeps the gas mileage half-ass decent. Not that I care at $5 a gallon for 93 right now, but the fact that this cam can even drive with the converter locked at 1,000 RPM is very nice. Man, it's very mild. Like, it drives like a mild cam, but it carries power really well out top. And really, even if it doesn't make 370 like I think it does, and only makes 350 or whatever, like, I don't care. I think it runs great. I'm happy with it. It's a cheap setup, very mild, drives well on the stock gear, stock converter. I pretty much did the same setup I did on the Caprice. I just went with a smaller cam because it's just a 5.3, but kind of the same idea behind it, trying to maximize the entire power curve. I don't really care about peak numbers. I want it to be strong everywhere and drive well. Probably make one more lap here and I'll go do a small pull back there on the back. I do need to throw some new plugs in it. The ones that I have in it, I've had it in for a while now, so I don't know what the gap is on them at this point. I probably need to throw a fresh set of plugs in it. That would probably be a nice thing to do for it. Tow haul, maybe it'll downshift how I want it to. They're building so much crap around me, it's not even funny. It's a cluster of stuff. I'm ready to move. Too many people. But yeah, like it doesn't push through the brakes or do anything funky, and to be honest, you could even lower the idle RPM on this thing even more than I have it. I think I have it targeted at like 750. I'm pretty sure this can would idle fine at like 675. That's what I originally had it at startup, but I preferred how it sounded a little bit higher. That's the only reason that I have it set higher to begin with. Wow, there's just so much stuff going on over here. I'll just do a short hit over here when I get around the turn. The first gear burnout, because that's about all it did. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed my terrible video skills and half-ass update. I'll try and get a better update here pretty soon whenever I actually get some actual dragging numbers and whatnot going on, but until then, I guess this is what you guys get. Sorry, I'm distracted. My grandpa just pulled up. He got a new mower, so I guess I'm gonna go check out this new mower. So yeah, I'll throw in the clips that I do have of whatever after the cam swap here at the end, and yeah, I'll see you in the next one.